Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
One of the best parts about being in the travel industry is that you can change how you move and get completely different results. So this April, inside Ash Knows Travel, I am going live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, breaking down the travel agent industry.
And we all got dreams. Let's go. We all want things. But what you
Make sure you subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss it. I'll see you there at Ash Knows Travel.
Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a...
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Ash and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is all about how to create and market travel blogs. Now, this is not on my schedule. I was actually going to take off tonight, but this is such a common thing that I get asked. Like, you guys all are making blogs, right? And now you're at this point where you're like, okay, what do I do with this blog? How do I get it to convert? Where do I put it? Like, I got you, okay? Tonight's training is all about how to create and market those travel blogs. We're going to talk about how to come up with blog ideas, how to structure them. Even most importantly, we're going to talk about how to get your blogs seen so that they bring value to your business. Now, this is a very powerful way to build authority, stay visible, and just create content that works for you long term, okay? You guys know my 3-post system that I always talk about is the first one's like attention, like we're grabbing them, we're kind of pulling them in, we're highlighting things. And then the second part of that post system is the value of booking with you, or the value of a travel advisor, or the value of knowing your niche, etc. Right? So tonight we are actually talking about that. We're going to go into deep dive into value, because that's exactly what blogs are meant to do. They are meant to provide value. So if you are live here, you already know what to do. Go ahead and comment hello for me so that I know that you are with me. Hello, everyone. And if you happen to catch this on a replay, okay, I still want to know that you stopped by. So make sure that you comment replay for me so that I can say hi to you. Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Now, it's time for a new month, so that means new training. So if you didn't catch me on Tuesday, then I want to go ahead and share this with you now. Starting next week, okay, we're going to be talking about Sora is changing. A lot of you guys probably got the notifications. Sora is ending, yeah? I don't really think they're ending. They're going to come up with something else. I already know, and it's probably going to cost. So noting that, we need to come up with a new idea that we can no longer use Sora, yes? So I want to give you some new tools. I know you guys saw my commercial in the beginning. It's way more advanced than Sora. Yes, can we all tell that it's way more advanced than Sora? So I want to kind of show you guys how I make those commercials. They don't have to have you in them. I can show you how to put yourself in there, etc. So I'm pretty excited about that. So make sure you guys hop on April 7th, which is next Tuesday, to learn about how Sora is no longer going to be needed. Yeah, I'm going to give you a new tool, okay? And then on that Thursday, I'm doing a really cool training called Red Flags. I always like to say red flag whenever I see something, or if I hear something that just doesn't seem right. So I'm going to be going over clients and agents' red flags that you guys should know about, yeah? And then we're going to carry it out, just kind of doing different marketing trainings. I have some advanced trainings in there, like batch and schedule it. A good topic, how to market your travel on your personal page. That's another one I get all the time. And then we're going to go even straight through an entire booking, from the inquiry to the booking, where you guys lose the sale when it happens, etc. So I'm going to be breaking down all things travel agent this month. So make sure you guys have already subscribed to my channel. And of course, make sure you tap that bell so you guys get notifications when I go live. I used to have it posted where it was like every time an evolution, but I'm not seeing it as much. So make sure you guys just tap the bell so you'll get a notification before my lives start. Okay. All right. So let's continue, shall we? So tonight we're talking about travel blogs, and I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying most travel blogs don't fail because they're bad. I feel like a lot of people stop themselves from posting their travel blogs because they think that they're bad, but honestly, they're not. People love to read things, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to show you some different styles that you guys can see, okay? But they don't have to be exact. The reason that they are failing is because nobody is ever seeing them. And if they don't see them, then they don't use them, right? So a lot of the agents, they'll come to me and they'll say, well, I'm struggling on what to write. I'm struggling on how to get traffic. So that is exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. Yes. Now, in this, okay, before I start, I want you to know that there is a process when it comes to creating a blog, okay? The client acquisition system is what I'm going to be calling this, but basically it's how we are going to do this training. So first we're going to talk about creating the blog, which is the actual asset. A lot of you guys think blogs actually just go ahead and fuel themselves, but they're not actually something that's going to move automatically. The idea of the blog is just to have it as a tool to use people to drive traffic and convert them into clients. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying here. The asset is creating the blog. That is the tool, okay? And then we need to carry that tool. We need to make it do something. So what do we make it do? We take it and we drive traffic to it, which is going to help convert it to clients, etc. Yes? Now, you can use your blogs for travel. You guys can use your blogs. Oh my gosh. My nose itches so bad. You guys can use you can use your blog for travel. You guys can use your blog for team building. I mean, there's a lot that you can do with the blog. So whatever you want to use this for, just kind of take it and use it with that, okay? I'm not saying it's just for travel because I also am going to be showing you some team building ones that I do. But you guys can really do anything with the blog as long as it's kind of properly laced back to you, then you are in the right order for a blog, okay? So first thing that we're going to talk about is phase one, which is write what they search, not what you did. Now, when we are posting, right, I always talk about what you did when you're posting on social media, etc. Now, this is going to be completely different when it comes to blogs. We need to find out what they are looking for when it comes to travel, specifically our niche, our audience. So that way, when they're searching, it gives us the automatic opportunity to pop up with the SEO. Now, naturally, SEO has to be kind of detailed in blogs, and I can cover that a little bit. It depends on what blog service you have, so you could just ask like ChatGPT, etc., on what's the best one. But if you're posting about what people are searching, it automatically is going to give you a better chance of populating for that, right? So a lot of the times before I write my blogs, and you guys can feel free to screenshot any of this, I automatically take a look at what people are asking when it comes to booking. So whatever your niche is, whatever their anxieties are, whatever their questions are, what are they normally asking you when it comes to price, or what's in the price, what's included, like any of these questions that clients will typically ask me, even about resorts, etc., that is blog material. Popular destinations or resorts that you book, cruises that you book, okay? Whatever those are being searched, I like to incorporate that inside my blog as well. Resort reviews are very good, even cruise reviews, or like 3 top mistakes people make when they're booking cruises. Like anything like that, this works really well. And then direct comparisons, okay? Now, I do a lot of just resorts. I like to book the resorts. So I frame content around decisions like, temptations versus hedonism, okay? You guys can do Cancun versus Cabo, or Royal Caribbean versus Carnival. Like something like that is really good because it's highly searched. Like that would grab somebody's attention, okay? And that's probably one of the biggest parts, that when you want to write a blog, what is going to grab their attention that makes them want to read this, right? So that is phase one. Now, speaking of grabbing their attention, let's talk about the anatomy of booking driven post, okay? So this is technically a post, but this is what we're going to use for the blog. And it's the same thing all the way through, right? That 3-post system is never going to fail me, I promise you. The hook, the value, and then at the end, we have the call to action, right? But the little added part for the blog is we're going to add our personal experience to it. That's the only difference from my 3-post system. Okay. The hook, the value, and the call to action. It's the same thing, right? We're grabbing their attention, we're delivering something, and then at the end, we're giving them an action to do, right? Exact same thing. So this is what you guys need in order for it to be a successful blog. Now, I'm going to dive deep into this and I'm going to explain the hook conversions and all of this, okay? But before I get to that, I want to start showing you guys my blogs so you guys kind of get an idea of what they should look like, all right? Now, I'm actually in the middle of creating a blog, so I'll give you a little bit of detail on that. And then I'll show you old blogs that I did in the past that I don't use anymore. I mean, I have a lot. I've done a lot of blogging. And they work very well for me. I consider them my value post a lot. I will always schedule them. Like I even have it showed where I can show it where I schedule it too. I always schedule them in the afternoon as like a value driven kind of post. They are a part of my little algorithm. So I think that it's very important that you guys kind of have that built in somewhere, blogging somewhere, because it kind of helps you establish authority and it's a good way for people to grab you. I'm also going to cover the platforms it works very well on, and I'm going to cover a new platform that we don't really ever talk about. So make sure you guys keep watching this, okay? But let's continue on with what the actual post looks like. Yes. So I have a few that I've been working on. First, I'll start with one of the ones that like are really old, so you guys can kind of get a feel of just different ways you can do it. I'm also going to use 2 different systems. So the most common one that people use is WordPress, but WordPress costs money. Like it has something inside of it that will eventually start costing. And I don't deep dive too much in WordPress because I look for things that are free. Yeah. So I also use system.io. That is real. I really go in and put all my blogs and where I'm building them now. So I'm going to show you my old so you can see WordPress and how it works. And then I'm going to show you system.io so you can actually see what I use now. Okay. So the first one we have here is WordPress. I'm already kind of logged into it and I just pulled up one of my blogs. I can do a little deep dive on it, but I just want to show you what it can do. So then maybe you can decide which one you want to use. All right. So this one here is traveling with kids back in the day when my niche was family travel. So this is going to just cover something that, you know, people can kind of relate to, people can kind of be pulled into, etc. Okay. Now this one I have on here is free because I don't have an actual like domain for it. Like my domain for my WordPress is travelwithash.net, but literally written out like .net. So if you don't have a domain attached to it and you don't do anything extra inside of it, just accept the posting part, then you can absolutely do it for free. Okay. When you start deep diving into WordPress, that's when it starts costing and adding up. So if you're not caring about the domain, you just want to make a couple of blogs and then share it, this is absolutely a good route that you can take. Okay. So I put it in here. This is all ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT. This is Unsplash. Yep. ChatGPT and Unsplash. I will show you Unsplash real quick because sometimes I say things, then you guys are like, what did she say? I got you. This is Unsplash, unsplash.com. If you search in here, these are free photos. They do have a paid version, which is Unsplash Plus, but the free version works just as fine. So you can get your photos from here, okay? But back to here. All right, so this is some survival tips and packing hacks that actually work because making memories should come less stress and more smiles. Yeah, all right. ChatGPT, I have a little, destination guide. Boom, Ash tip. I put my own personal touch on it, okay? And then keep schedules. Yeah, I'm just giving them some tips. Packing hacks you wish you'll knew sooner. Okay, yes, we got that in there. And I also have my Amazon in here, okay? This used to be a link. There should be an Amazon link somewhere deep dived in here, but I could even throw an Amazon link in there. Yeah, okay? I'm telling you, blocks are very good. Just throw everything in there if you want. Then we have number 4. We have kid-friendly apps. Boom. Final thought. The trip is worth it. Now, this is my personal touch to it, what they call to action. And then I even have hashtags, and then travel is good for the soul at the end. Yeah. So this is just a simple blog. Now, This might seem like it's just not a big deal. It's just a little bit, yes. But how many times have you found yourself reading these blogs? All the time. I find myself deep diving in them. So I like to go ahead and just put them as a source, as I'm a source of knowledge. This is my authority. This is what I know about. And I make it all up with ChatGPT. Boom. Right? Yeah, we like that? Okay. So let me go in here. Let me go. All right. Now you're going to see all of these are 0 because I don't use these blogs anymore. My niche now, really, what I've been kind of booking is adults only travel. So this has nothing to do with what I book. Okay. These are old. Now they've worked in the past. I'm not going to lie. I've gotten some pretty good stuff out of them. And then that's only when I really promote them. I only promoted how many did I have total? How I used to do this? Let me see. I had 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I had 5 total, and I would do them once a week, just one. And I did it for about 3 or 4 months, and then I stopped talking about family travel, so I don't use them anymore. All right, but you guys get the rough idea. They're all pretty easy to make. I just come in here. We can edit it. Let's see. Let me edit it for you. Go in here, and then this is edit. And you just come in here and add photos, type things, add photos, whatever you need to do. In here, they have all of the different blocks. You can save blocks, etc. Now, I know this isn't an exact deep dive, but you guys have to kind of figure some of this stuff out on your own, right? Like you can literally Google how to make a blog in WordPress and it will give you the exact details of it, right? ChatGPT, help me set up a blog. And it will literally give you verbatim how to set it up. And I'll show you that in a minute. But most of this is self-explanatory. All of this here, these are words. That's me just putting in a picture, words some more. Yeah, words, lots of stuff. This had all kinds of stuff in there. Final thought, there's my advice, and then my link. That's how it all ends. There's the hook, there's the value, there's the personal thought, and then call to action. Boom. And now when my system.io, I put call to actions all throughout it. This one, not so much, but now my blogs are a lot better. All right. So this is WordPress. Can we all see? It's pretty easy to use, right? It's not very hard. I don't do anything because you guys, like I said, you can do upgrades, domains, etc. Okay. But all I do is I just created an account. Set up the name. I didn't even use a business email. I just used my regular email. And then I do post right here. I just do add post. You can add categories, tags, etc. But I just added a post and I just made post just like this. All right. So I made a bunch of blogs at one time. I do like to make them in batches. And then once I make them in batches, I will start pushing them out. I schedule them throughout the week. Now, how do I schedule them throughout the week? I just did a training. I haven't. You know what? It's uploaded. I just haven't shared it with you guys yet, but it's there. It's Market Like a Pro. It's the last one I just did. And then the last one I just did was we were talking about scheduling, right? So my scheduling that I do, oh, it kicked me out. The scheduling that I do is what I'm referring to because you guys are going to ask me that next part is how do I schedule it? Well, I'm going to break down how I post it. But what I do is whenever it starts loading, I will come in here and I will just do I think it's 11 o'clock is what it is. Let me see. Yeah. So I have it here. You guys probably can't see that. So this one here is not all the adults resorts are the same. This is it right here. Okay. And I'll show you guys the hook and stuff, but I schedule it. So I have it here. They're all listed like this. Be honest. Which one are you picking? This is your last trip. This is why I didn't hit. And I use these little magnets. I'll show you guys that in a second. All right. But that's what I do. I just schedule it just like that. And I make about 5 of them and then I'll schedule it throughout the week. And then I just sit with those 5 and I just rotate them. All right. Now, that is WordPress. Okay. That is how WordPress works. But I no longer use WordPress because I honestly like system.io. So I'm going to hop over to system.io now. Yeah. System.io. So let me see if I can get it written out for you here. Where are we at? But it's system, SYSTEME at the end, .io, system.io. Okay. All right. So come in here and let me go back to my blog here. Okay, so this is system.io. I feel like it's a lot easier to use. It's a lot more user friendly than WordPress. It is a free service. I do not pay for my blogs in here, and that's why I use it. I did pay for my domain, okay, and I have several domains tied into here. Now, I have a complete system.io training. You can look it up on my YouTube, but it allows you to have sub accounts. So this one here is like Passports to Profits. This is my Ash Knows Travel, which is my training blogs. And then Passports to Pleasure is my adults only training blogs. And you can make them in sub accounts. So each one has its own domain. So this one is Passports to Profits. And then the other one will be Ash Knows Travel. And then the other one's passportstopleasures.com. Okay. I paid $12 for each domain. I have to pay for them every year. And I attach them. I have the full training on how to do that. Okay. I use Namecheap. That's about as deep as I can go. I feel like blogging is a little more advanced. So if I'm speaking gibberish, then hold on to that, okay? Watch my system.io training because that'll show you exactly what to do. But to give you a rough idea for blogs, you just hit create in the blog section and then you name it. You choose what domain, you name it there, and then you can either build it or they will build it for you or with you, okay? So I already have one set up. This is Ash Knows Travel, but it's technically Passports to Profits. This is my team building blogs, okay? Now, I made these at the end of March, right here, and I'm going to circulate these 3 blogs for the next month. Now, I would like to do 5 normally, but I had so many posts already like set up for Passports to Profits, so I just didn't want to do any more work. I was tired because these are a lot more prettier than the other ones, okay? So this is how you do it. You can create the post layout. You could do a lot in here. You can view the entire blog and it looks like this. Like this is my entire blog page. And it has my blog set up. It introduces me. It has a lot of stuff on it. So you could go all out in system.io. You can build websites in here, sales funnels. It does a lot, but I'm using the blogs tab tonight. Okay. But you can edit the blog, how it looks. You can go in great details here, and I really like that. But let me just open one. So I just shared this one the other day. Is it worth becoming a travel agent? Now it's going to take me to the edit screen, which is fine, but let me show you the preview. Okay. So this is it right here. Blog, how to become a travel agent. Is it becoming a travel agent worth it? Here's the truth. Okay, this is Unsplash. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ash. It even has this part. This only shows up on the desktop though. This does not show up on my phone. And you guys see this? This is like a preview. So this is filled with other blogs once it's loaded. Okay. So it's not just this. This is other blogs that I posted. But here it is. Hook. Yeah. And then let's be real for a second. Is becoming it. Here it is. This is a valid question. And then there's a lot of noise. Like this one's very controversial. Unsplash again. So here's the honest answer. It depends on you, what this can look like. Now I know this is team building, but you guys get the idea. Value again. Think this might be for you. There's my call to action. I have this placed all the way throughout. Should be at the top too, but it's not. There should be one right here. It's missing, but yeah, okay. But I have it here. And then let's talk about reality. Now, this is my personal opinion. So there's that part. That's the most important part of the blog is it has to have its own personal opinion. And then, so why do people choose this? Here's the conversion. Here's the actions. And then there's the call to action at the end. All right. So I probably will add some hashtags at the end of this because it is, I do like to put hashtags on it. So I'll probably put that in there too. But I want you guys to just get a general feel for how a blog works, okay? It does not have to be hard at all, okay? That is the main part that I want to show you for blogs. You guys can check out my system.io training. You can try it on WordPress, right? But let me show you how I actually build the blog, yeah? You guys want to see that part too? All right, so right now, I'm actually working in ChatGPT to set up a blog for, I already created the first one. This is like one of my projects for it. And now I'm working on blog 2. So this is actually going to be for my sub account on system.io, which is going to be for Passports to Pleasure. So it's not going to be the exact same setting. Okay. Now, this one here is, I basically, let me scroll up and find it where I told it. Okay, these are post 5. All right. Now very, very generic. Now I need you to make me, let me zoom in here. Now I need you to make me 3 blogs for adults only travel. Can you help? Sure, I got you, right? Now it already knows me, so it knows what I'm talking about. But not all the adults resorts are the same. Here's what you need to know. It has it, yeah, and it breaks it down. These are the resorts that I always talk about, and I will put my link tree in there so they can book them. It has Desire Baramaya, Hedonism. Those are my resorts. So I tack in my resorts with what I'm talking about. But this main post is just talking about the 3 different types of resorts, which is a very popular thing for me when people are booking with me. That's the biggest mistake that they make. Yeah. And then my advice, my personal opinion. And then, do you need help? Here's my call to action, right? Then we have the second one. This is the one that I'm working on now. Let's be honest for a second. I like the controversial, like pull in. I want to like get their attention, make them feel like, oh wait, did I need to know this? Like, is this something I'm second guessing? Like, that's what I try to do when I'm posting these things. Okay. So there's that. There's the problem. What you should do. My advice. Yeah. Want to get it right next time. There's that. Now I dropped my link tree in here because I have options and deals, so I want them to just use it. I want them to use that link, okay? If you have other things, like maybe you have other blogs, maybe you guys even have like just different like things that people are interested in, like Viator, etc. Put that throughout your blog, okay? There's no limits on what you can put into a blog. And the longer that they sit on the blog and the longer that they're being pulled in to click on something else, you can pull them back to it, right? Now on mine, I'm gonna show you here. Where's the? Hold on. Get out of there. When I go, share this tab. Okay. I'm now in this account, so let me change sub accounts to passports to pleasures. Okay. So I just started this. This is my new thing that I'm working on. So it's gonna be very blank, but you guys can see it first. Yes. So here's the first blog I made, and now I'm going to be working on the second one. So here it is right here. If we open it, okay, not only all of resorts. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I know, you see this guy? I got to get rid of him, so just ignore him, okay? But I'll put my information there. But the reason I'm showing you is that when it comes to links, I don't want you guys to think you're limited on links. So on my system.io for the passports to pleasure one, I have it up here. Book your next trip. If they click on that, that leads them to my job form. Yeah. Let's connect. That leads them back to my website. The articles are going to show them all of the articles that I've written, but I pull them back to my website throughout. Need help planning? Start here. I pull them back again. Halfway through it, oh, you need help planning? Pull them again, right? And then at the bottom, need help choosing? There it is. All the way throughout, I'm pulling them in. And then on the left here, once I edit these, I will have all of my different sites listed in here. My About Me will be in here. And then they can even join my mailing list too. So I have them going in all different directions. But what did I just teach you guys last week, right? Everything is a funnel. I think that was last week, maybe. Everything is a funnel. This is a part of my funnel, and it pulls them to further parts of my funnel, whether that's booking a trip with me, whether that's connecting with me, whether that's learning more about me or going to my different social media platforms or even joining my mailing list. There are several ways to pull them in, and that is what you guys need to understand about a blog. I am pulling them in all different directions. Regardless of where they're going, there's a farther part for them to take into my funnel. Yeah? That's what we're doing here. That's exactly the point of the blog. All right? Now, speaking of that, let's go back in here. Okay, we'll go back out there in a little bit, but let's continue into this. Yes, that is what I want you guys to understand. All right, when you guys are setting up your blogs, let's talk about that in these slides. The biggest thing that you guys have to remember is the hook. You guys have to do like controversial topics. Like if you put my trip to Cancun, they don't want to read that. But don't book Cancun until you read this. Oh, I need to read it. Let me see what it says, right? Choosing a resort. No, most people choose the wrong resort. That's what I put on mine, right? Travel tips. No. Biggest mistake travelers make. Oh, wait, I need to read this. What's the mistake they make? Do I make this mistake? That's exactly what we're looking for right at the top of it, all right? Now, with this, okay, now that we've done a deep dive on how to create the blogs, and I can go even further if I need to, but I feel like I don't want to give you too much. I want you to create these on your own because the more you make them like you, the more you are going to be like the need to share it. Okay. If I give you exactly what to say, then it's just something that I made. It doesn't have any value to you. But if you put that value in it, you're going to be very confident. You want to talk about it, etc. Right? Now, speaking of that, a lot of the times you guys will go in and you create these blogs and then you post it once and then you'll come to me and be like, well, blogging doesn't work for me. Blogging is not something that happens immediately. It is something that is meant to be building into long terms, as in it's something that will sit there and it will grow over time. Think of it like as an investment. Yeah. When you do an investment, do you automatically expect a return? No. You want that to build up over time and then collect the return from it. That's exactly what blog marketing is. It is not posting once. Posting once is not marketing, especially when it comes to blogs, okay? So now we're going to talk about what you can do with that blog, okay? A lot of the times when we do the blog, we post it one place and then we get no results from it and we just feel very like blah, right? So what you need to understand is that the blog, which is your asset, is meant to drive several different types of traffic into one post, okay? So we're going to take that one asset, that one blog, and we're going to turn it into micro content. We're going to take it, we're going to post it everywhere, and no matter where we're posting, we're driving them back to the blog, which is driving them back into my funnel, which is going to pull them to the next step, yes? So taking that core blog post, we could take it and turn it into a TikTok where we pull it in there and say, check my link tree for my latest blog, right? Or I would do a deep dive on this in my blog, right? Carousels, educational swipes as they're going, read more with my blog, right? That's pulling them into it. It's like a call to action that's going to pull them somewhere else into our funnel. Reels are great. You can do Instagram reach, putting it back into your link in the bio. And then Facebook post. This does very, very well on Facebook. Facebook kind of leads us into reading things a lot. I spend a lot of time reading stuff on Facebook, right? Why not it be your core blog that you just made? Yes? And then there's going to be one in here too that I'm going to talk about, which is Pinterest. Pinterest is really good for content multiplying for blogs because people pin the blogs. They already go in there expecting to read. So if you're going to post it everywhere, you might as well add it to Pinterest while you're at it. And if you do my Deliver It, yes, that I always talk about, I be talking about Deliver It all the time, you can add it in there. Let me see. Where's Pinterest in here? Hold on. I know I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah, here it is. Look at all these great places for blogs. Okay, this is going to help me so much because I don't remember blogs off the top of my head. It even has WordPress and Blogger in here, so you guys can automatically tack those in there too. But since I'm using System.io, I wouldn't be able to do that, okay? But I will show you how to connect it. Don't worry, we got that. But you got Facebook, Threads is good for blogs. Blue Sky is good for blogs. Pinterest, amazing for blogs. LinkedIn, perfect for blogs. What is this? Threads, yeah, good for blogs. Oh, this is Twitter, right? Oh, I called it Threads. Twitter, perfect. TikTok can be good, but you have to direct them to the link in the bio. Google Business Suite, perfect for blogs. Yeah, not Snapchat. Reddit, if you want to market there, sure, why not? Tumblr, that's kind of old school. What is this? I don't even know what this is. RSS feed is for your blog, so if you have another RSS feed, you can connect it. And if you do Nextdoor or any of these other little cool things, you guys can check them out, okay? But there's a lot of platforms that you guys can be marketing your blogs on. So make sure if you're not getting, there we go. If you're not getting the feedback from your blog that you're expecting, make sure you're on the right platform because that could be the first problem right there. Yeah. Like make sure you're actually pushing it where it hooks. I don't honestly expect it to do too well on TikTok, but I expect it to do way better on like Pinterest or like LinkedIn, right? I do a lot of blogging on LinkedIn because it's just posting it. Who cares? They'll just share it. They'll read it. They read it. They don't. I don't care, right? It's posting. So that is something to consider. Yes. Now, with that, I want you guys to understand that I don't share it just once. So here's a rough idea of what I would do with the blog. So same blog, but you're not going to just post the same blog over and over and over, okay? You have to hit it with different angles and different topics, but pulling them back to the blog to read more. So let's just take one blog and let's hit it with several different angles, okay? So if I'm posting it once a week, here it is, okay? So the first one we could do the warning, top 3 mistakes, okay? So let's just say top 3 mistakes while booking a cruise, okay? This is the reel that I make. Then at the bottom, oh, to learn more about booking cruises, or to read my next blog about do not make this mistake or something, like pull it in at the bottom of it, but still make it into a post. Okay. And then let's take it in here. And then the contrast, luxury versus party cruises. Okay. Oops, sorry. And this one here is a carousel. All right. At the end of this, I can easily add in my blog and say, to learn more about the types of resorts that you should be booking or the types of cruises you should be booking, check out my blog here. Boom. Okay. There it is again. Now we're going to take that same blog, and on day 10, we're going to talk about this part, the review. Okay. Don't book this resort unless blah, blah, blah. Okay. Whatever that is. To learn more about booking resorts or cruises, whatever we were talking about, read more here. Okay. Do you guys see how I'm pulling that in every single time? It's not the same post. It's not the same content. It's different content, but at the bottom, I'm still pulling in my blog. And that's the part that you guys kind of forget about. Yeah. Now, with that, that's not the only way. Okay. There's other ways we can do this, but I want you guys to understand the ecosystem. I like using new words. This is my new thing. I made up an ecosystem and I made up something else to it. Just that's where we're going with it. Okay. But what I want you guys to understand is that there's a deeper layer to when it comes to posting the blog. It's not just simply as we posted it in one section and that's where it's going to work. Okay. We have to understand where it lives. Yes, that's exactly what I was just talking about, but rough idea. Okay. The first part that you guys can post these blogs in are your active traffic, which I've showed you. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That drives that immediate traffic and it gives you that short-term spike where you get a lot of views at once. That's what that does, okay? If you want it to stick and you want it to just kind of drive over time, then you need to do also evergreen traffic, which is evergreen is something that's always there. Like it's always searchable. It's new, but it's always going to be there. So if they search it, that would be Pinterest, right? LinkedIn would be a good one. Also, what I just saw Reddit. I've never thought about doing Reddit. Reddit would be good. Threads is really good. Anytime that I'm posting, I wish I could show you, but if you go look up Ash Knows Travel on Threads, there's a part where I'm posting, okay? And I post my blogs there all the time. When you post your blog on Threads, it will send it to this thread that's called Travel Advisor. So my blog gets filed under Travel Advisors, okay? And it's for team building, so whatever. But I want you guys to understand that it does a lot of different things. You guys only use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's the only 3 platforms you guys ever use. But there's so many different things that these platforms do for different types of content. So a blog would do way better on Pinterest or Threads or Reddit even, or Google Business Suite, or anywhere that's like places where people can click, like LinkedIn, they can click it, right? Facebook is really good. If you guys want to do your blogs, put them in your groups, etc. That's fine too. But what you want is that ability for them to come back to it later so that they're going to be pulled into your funnel, because that's exactly what that does, right? So if you're going to do it evergreen, you want multiple pins per blog, keyword driven. You got to have a bunch of keywords in there. And that's why I put the resorts in there so they can pull it back. And then that will create long-term traffic, which is the longevity of it automatically existing. Yeah. And then, okay, we can take it a little bit further. How many of us do email marketing? A lot of us send out newsletters. A lot of us have them in campaigns to keep our leads warm. I'm doing a training on that this month, yeah. But you guys can put that blog in there. Put it into there. Like have it continued for the newsletter, slide a blog in there. Always put a blog in there, okay? Anytime I make a new blog, that's automatically going to become a part of my email system. I'm going to add it in there. But I send a blog to list with strong, curiosity-driven subject lines like don't make this mistake, or before you book your next trip, like something like that to kind of grab their attention to pull them further throughout the email back into my funnel, right? So the reason I'm showing you this is so that you guys can see that blogs need to live within things. It's not meant to be something that's going to get you a booking automatically, but it's going to help build like that authority, longevity that you guys are all craving when it comes to what can people fall back on. This is what they fall back on as a blog. All right. Now, traffic destinations. Never leave a dead end. So every post that must drive to the blog, a link page, and the inquiry form. Ooh, yes, I love this. Okay. I always make sure I pull them through here somehow. All right. Now, if I'm going to pull them to my blog, That's for deep education and trust building. Guess what? It's in there, a link page. Yeah, you guys already saw it. Need help planning? Click here, right? And where does that link page lead them to? The inquiry form. So I always have it kind of pulled somewhere. And this goes for any post too. Even if I don't post my blog, there's going to be a link page or an inquiry form. There's always something to pull them further into the destination of where I want them to go. I want them to go further down my funnel, then I'm going to put them there. Okay. If I do a blog that's obviously a value kind of trust building, that's where I want to pull them into my links, or I want to pull them into my socials, or I want them to follow me, right? There has to be some type of conversion and some type of destination that a blog has a purpose for. It's not meant to be just read it and end it. Read it and go somewhere else is what it's meant to do. All right. Now, I'll give you a rough idea. You guys kind of understand where it lives for the blog. I already told you, but to give you so you can actually see it. The content, like the reels, etc., to grab the attention is the hook. The blog would lie here where the value is. We're building the connection, which leads them to the inquiry, which leads to the booking, right? This is where it lies. So I don't expect it to grab new followers. I would never lead it as a new follower. I would lead it for people that are already following me, that are trying to trust me and to try to gain my insight. That is where it lies, okay? Now, the final shift, before I deep dive a little bit more into blogs, what I want you to I want to show you how I post it. That's what I'm going to show you next, okay? But I want you guys to see this, and I want you to think, okay, I wrote a blog. That's the number one thing you guys always do. Stop doing that, okay? You need to start thinking about, you just built a part of your system, yeah? It's a part of your funnel. That is a part of the authority, value-driven that you are as a travel advisor. You put that into your client system so that they have value. It's a great way to keep a lead warm. It's a great way to build authority and to build trust. Yes? All right. So before I continue, okay, this is all I have for my slides. So we're good on that. Now let's talk about how I actually talk about my blogs, okay? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to show you a little bit of what I do. Let me see here. Hashtags, value. Okay. Let me come in. Oh, zoom out. There we go. And travel dash. 1 second. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Okay. Ooh, let me just share this whole tab. Okay. So here is, this is my group. Where's the blogs? Hold on. You gotta see everything today. So I'm doing several different types of posts. I'm doing one post with my group so I can pull them into my booking group. I'm doing another one, that's my group booking group. Then I'm doing another one where I post my blog in it. And then I'm going to do another one where I post my link. So all three of them have different styles, but I want them to have something to kind of pull back. Okay, so let me scroll down. Sorry. I thought I was going to find it right at the top, but it does not. Where I want it to be. Yeah? Okay, maybe it's not here. Let's do team building. I'll do team building one. That should be able to find really easy. Hi. All right. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, we'll do those. That's fine. All right, so here's some team building ones. I don't really like the travel ones, and I'm not really seeing what I want, so let's just start here, all right? Especially since I'm still working on my travel blogs. That might help. So ever heard of fam trips? This is the hook. Here's the value. And then, yes, you actually get to go. If you're new, start here. Here's the blog, okay? I'm leading them right into the blog. Now, this blog, we open it, is my Passports to Profits, how to work from home. This is a beginner guide, yeah? I talk about myself on the right. Here it is, the hook. There's the description. I have a little splash photo again. Here's other blogs that they can read, okay? What does booking travel mean? How do you get paid? This is an agent review that I had. I just slapped that in there. I mean, I throw everything in a blog. Put it in the blog. I don't care. Can beginners do this? Absolutely. Where do you start? And then boom, call to action. So this would have to be like my advice on it. And then this would be one of the most too good to be true. Now you've seen it. If you're curious, start here. Okay. So this is all still meant to pull them down. Here's my stuff that they could follow me on. And then boom, I need to add some stuff at the top, but still the same thing. Works great. Okay. So that's one post. Here's another post. Let's see. This one is just comment travel. So this is just for engagement. And then there's another one. All right. So now it's bringing them to how to become a travel agent, which is still part of my blogs, but this is a link inside of my blog. All right. And then boom, here's another one. So post multiple bookings blog. One booking is great, but here's what people don't think about. You can have multiple clients, multiple bookings. This is how it grows. Boom, how travel advisors get paid the most. People don't know this. Okay. So here is a way to pull it in. Do you see how it's not like I'm not like, Joe, read my blog. Here's my blog. Like, we're not trying to do that. Okay. We're trying to basically get them to a point where they're like, oh, this is what I should read. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to know how this works. Right. That's exactly it. Then the next one has the form. And then the next one has my site. And then boom, it should have another one that leads to a blog. So I have them all set up to where all my links are kind of like going throughout, and I just throw the blog in there throughout. Okay. Longevity, let it build, let it grow. Okay. Now, with this, when I take this here, if I were to take this like that, I like to put something in front of it. So I will come to Gemini. I have one here. Let me scroll up. I think she should be here. Yeah. And it's not exactly me, but I don't really care. Nope. Oh, yeah. Let's see this one here. Here it is. I'll be using all kinds of stuff to make these things up. All right. So most people book this wrong. Okay. I know it's not me exactly. I don't care. You picked the wrong resort. That's perfect. I used Gemini for this. Gemini is just pulling random photos that it creates of me. Fine. But I'm pulling them in just like this. So I'll take this photo and then I'll put the caption with the post and then have the blog on there. But this is what's pulling them because they see it like that. Especially on Pinterest, this does really well. So 3 types of adults only resorts, put it like this as the pin. And then when they open it, that leads them to the blog. Yeah. So I do a lot of this. If I do like a TikTok where I'm doing like a post, I will put them in the blog in there. But I just pull it as a way to continue the traffic to my funnel. That's exactly what I do with blogs. Okay. So I have shown you guys a lot of stuff tonight. Yeah. I think I've kind of went in a deep dive. I know it's over like 40 minutes, so I've gotten plenty of stuff on here for you guys to start with. But pick your system, okay? If you want WordPress, choose WordPress. If you guys want system.io, check out my training for system.io. I like system.io. I think it's great. It does pretty simple stuff on there. Like, let me show you real quick how I build. Like, it's very easy, okay? Your text, your headlines, they automatically come built together like this. And then I just do a text headline. Boom. Then this is my little block I make. But text headlines, and then I make little things. This is like, I just create it. I mean, I play around with it. And then this is like 3 columns. That's what this is, right? Made a little background in here. Now I have the training to show you exactly how I do it, but it's very easy. I copy and paste this. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Yeah. And then I choose the background for this little section, and then I just make it white. Like, I make it very simple, but I still want it to be like readable, right? That's what they're here for. They're here to read. They don't care about all of the fancy stuff. They just want to read. So I grab their attention with these little blocks, but for the most part, it's just their reading. That's it. I might slap some photos in here, maybe, just spice it up a little bit, but it doesn't have to be more than that. Okay. You guys probably think it's very complicated, but once you start building a few blogs, you get pretty excited about it and you continue. Okay. So just kind of build into it, see where you're comfortable with it. And then when you get ready, post your first blog, just see how it goes. Just try it out. All right. And if you create a mailing list in there, you guys will get people that are signing up for that mailing list. Take that mailing list and then put them into your email so you guys can start sending out the emails, etc. Right? Now, with sending it out, okay, I like to automatically send out my blogs too. So if you guys come in, let me see, I'm in the editor now, right? That's where I'm at. Yeah. All right. So if I go like this, let me get out of here. Go away. If you come like this where it says blog settings, you see this part where it says RSS feed, okay? If I copy this like that, and then I like to basically set it up, if you use Deliveroo or any type of service that says you can automate your RSS feed, you guys can do so just by in here, by setting it up like this. Output feed name, etc. Okay? Now I have mine set up on the automate section, where if I do like a new automation, I'll click RSS feed, put the title in there just like this. It'll publicize it for me after it finds it. And then every time I post a blog, what it will do is it will set it up to, oh, it says I can't find it. Okay, fine, thanks. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe because I only have one blog with it, but here it is right here. I have Ash Knows Travel. So basically, anytime I post a blog on Ash Knows Travel, I have it automated and deliver it where it goes to LinkedIn, Threads, Facebook, and then YouTube too. But YouTube only if it's a video. But this is how I have it set up, okay? So you guys have that capability. And I know that's very advanced, but I want you to understand that there's so many ways you can get your blog out there. So just make the blog, okay? And then as you're building up, you get more comfortable. You find more things to build into, like System.io. You could do your blog. You could set it up to the blog connects to the newsletter or your email campaign. And you could even have it set up to where they have text messaging. I mean, they have a lot in here, okay? They have courses, communities. They have so much stuff in here. But what I'm trying to show you is that you guys can basically set it up to where that blog is like a part of your foundation, yeah? So that is all I have for you guys tonight. Make sure you like this video, share some love to it if it has helped you guys. I think I've run a pretty deep dive, yeah? So make sure you guys, of course, like this video, share it with your teams, comment if it helped you. If you guys have questions, feel free to comment them below. I will check them out now in my studio. And as well, make sure you join me on Tuesday so you guys can learn more about the new AI tool. It's kind of hard. It doesn't have a name. That's why I just put Sora is changing, because I don't have a name for it. It doesn't have a name. I'm just going to show you the secret. Yeah. So make sure you learn about that secret. And I hope you enjoyed my pop-up training for tonight on blogs, and get started making blogs. Okay. I want to see them. I follow all of you guys. You guys know to add me on Facebook, etc. So I want to see these blogs. Okay. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've actually been looking at a lot of your posts, and guys, we're doing better. Okay. Like you guys are really starting to impress me with the AI stuff. You guys are taking what I'm teaching you and you're actually implementing it. And I know you guys are seeing results. So I'm very, very happy for all of you. And that is exactly what I want to do here. Like, I always consider myself blessed to be a blessing. Yeah. If I can show you something that's going to just click in your mind and change the way that you guys start making money and you make more income, then I've done everything I needed to do today. Right? So I hope this helped. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. I'm going to head over to my studio now where I will answer any of your questions. Feel free to drop them there. And if not, I will see you guys next Tuesday. If you are on corporate, if you're with Evolution Archer, tomorrow I'm doing corporate training as well. I'm doing a corporate Zoom. Who's it going to be on? Ooh, I don't remember off the top of my head. Hold on, I'll tell you. Kind of need to know that, huh? Second, good question. So on tomorrow, I'm going to be on corporate Zoom. I'm going to be doing how to find and use our suppliers' online content. Yeah, that's a really good one. So if you are at Evolution Archer, make sure you hop on corporate Zoom at 5 p.m. Pacific on Friday, tomorrow, and I will show you guys how to find and use suppliers' online content. And if you're not with Evolution Archer and you want to join our team, reach out to me and I will get you set up. All right. So other than that, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. Okay. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Yeah. Have a good night.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.